All right, and we're live. How's it going, beautiful people of Instagram? This is Jose Trujillo, world's greatest living artist, coming to you here from the art studio, and I'm going to make an awesome little painting today. This is an 8 by 10 inches canvas. Bear with me. I am almost there. I'm almost there. Almost there. Here we go. All right. Let's do this. Remember I told you guys not to get caught up in certain things, like when I'm doing. This goes also for the people that watch me on YouTube. I told you not to get caught up on these things, unless you like it, you know. But what I'm trying to say is that I exchange it, like I change it. I'm not using this anymore. I'm not using this little thing anymore. I rarely see. I go and I try stuff. This is one of the concepts that I love about Pablo Picasso. He was very famous for trying stuff and then letting it go. I mean, we saw that with, oh, sorry about that shakiness. We saw that with the latest. Unfortunately, he didn't have that down there or whatever. Who am I to judge? I don't know. No, we know he was a bit muy loco with the latest. You don't treat latest like that. Anyways, but he was famous for doing that, right? For not sticking to something, not marrying something. That's a very it's a very interesting trait of the very I'm not gonna call it successful because I don't know what success is for everyone. But one thing we can all agree on is they're high performance people. So that's a trait that high performance people have. They don't marry one thing, you know. You see a good boxer, if they have the same jab and hook, at some point someone's gonna study that and they're gonna lose, right? It's gonna stop working. Or you know, if someone is really good at something. They're always growing. They're always changing. It's never the same thing, and I like to implement that in my artwork. You know, it's not one thing or another. It's not like, oh yeah, you do this and then you do that and then you made it. You know, it's not. It's ever changing. You know, it's never the same. It doesn't. There is no formula. In other words. The formula is keep growing, keep changing, keep working, and then some stuff you keep doing. Some stuff you don't have to change. You don't have to change for the sake of changing. You change because of growth. You know, something you're growing. You know, usually I use a flat brush. Now I use a round brush. It's just kind of, you know, and I might only stick with this for a couple of days or a few months. Who knows? I mean, I stuck with this thing for like months. So that's the beauty of it, you know. It's changing. This is one of the things that I love about painting in loose brush. It's not complicated. Now, artists, I think we tend to make things complicated. It's kind of like, not just artists, just people in general. But this is one of the reasons I love doing this, because it's not complicated. And I think that I can be very complicated. That's why I said if there was a religion called simplicity, I might just join it. A religion. Because we tend to make things too complicated right away. ¿Qué tal, Omar Cruz? Aquí andamos. So, here's the thing, you know. The thing is that we tend to do that. We tend to make things complicated, and we don't need to. But a part of our brain is like, dude, you got to make it complicated. Otherwise, no one's going to pay attention to it. Otherwise, no one's going to like it. Otherwise, you're not doing your best. Here's another thing that we like to tell ourselves. If it's not complicated, we're not doing our best. Such a big lie. It's not true. Now, this does not mean that everybody needs to paint simple, but the approach needs to be simple. This is one of the things that I found in some of the greatest artists. I love looking into, as I mentioned before, I love looking into beyond their work, but their work ethic. And I realized that they made it simple for themselves. That's why things like Cámara Oscura were invented. That's why, they try not to make it complicated. The things that they needed to trace, they traced. The things that they didn't need to trace, they didn't trace. And it wasn't this, it has to be this way or else. It was, I don't think so. I mean, I see the brushwork of Dali, and it seems so complicated if you just glance at it. But if you start paying attention to it, you realize he figured something out for himself. I see the brushwork of Rembrandt, and I know this is not a popular topic. I know people might get offended because we hold them in this high regard, and as they should, because they were great at what they did, but specifically they were monsters, they were beasts, not monsters. They were working machines, in other words. They were insatiable. It's one of the things that I love about the great ones. Beyond their artwork, their hustle, their work ethic was beyond belief. And I see the brushwork of John Singer Sargent or Rembrandt, and I realize, man, these guys weren't complicated at all. Un abrazo, muchas gracias, Omar. How's it going, Jolly for Art? I hope things are great in Germany. I'm sure they are. And that's what I've seen, over and over. This artists didn't complicate themselves, and I don't think that they did it like, oh, let me see how I can not complicate myself. I think they had good mentors. That's one. The ones that didn't, I think they did it enough to where they started figuring out, oh man, why am I complicating things? Why am I making things so damn complicated? I think that they come to that realization. You see artists like Jasper Johns. You see artists like even people hate Damien Hirst. I don't know why people are such haters with Damien Hirst. I personally don't know the cat. I mean, of course not, right? But I don't know much about him. I just know that whatever he's doing, he's got to be doing something right. He's got to be doing something right. And people hate on these cats. They're like, ah, man, what's his name? Jeff Koons. So many people hate on Jeff Koons, and yet another guy that doesn't complicate things. He sees himself as an architect. He sees himself as he's an orchestrator. He's like, oh, I got an idea. Let's do this, and that. But I'm gonna complicate it by doing it myself. I'm gonna get other cats to do this, and then other cats to do that, and then the whole orchestration. Of course, it's him, but he doesn't. It's like an architect. He's like, we're gonna build a bridge, or some engineer or whatever. But I'm not gonna lay a single brick, right? I'm gonna be the mastermind behind it. And that's fair. It's okay that it's that way. I don't know why it's so much, Here's another morning rant, you guys. Well, it's not morning anymore, but it doesn't have to be A, B, or C. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be, so damn painful. And we tend to do that many times as artists. It's almost like if we feel like if we don't do that, it's not worth it. No one's gonna see my work. No one's gonna care about my work if there wasn't blood involved. And I mean that figuratively, of course. But no one's gonna care about it, And that's not true. That is not true at all. And right now I'm going a little slow. I'm going a little bit more complicated because I'm trying to. I usually paint faster than this, and I usually paint with more ferocity. But I like to, as I'm talking to you guys and kind of you know, telling you guys what I'm doing here. I like to slow it down and give you guys a little slower version of it. Saludos desde Cancún. Ah, qué rico. Ah, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo está? Malagueño. O malagueña, no sé. Desde España. Qué buena onda. So that's essentially that's the thing, you know. Para los que no hablan inglés, estoy tratando de decir un mensaje sencillo. I'm going to speak in Spanish just really quick for our Spanish-speaking artists. Estoy tratando a la vez que estoy pintando, estoy tratando de dar un mensaje que no debemos de ser tan complicados los artistas. Podemos ser menos complicados. Podemos ser más sencillos. No, muchas veces nos complicamos demasiado que perdemos el amor al arte, perdemos el sentido. Nuestros sentidos, obviamente, nuestros sentidos es lo más importante. And we tend to lose that. We tend to lose it because we're very complicated. Or we tend to be that way. So there you guys go. Man, this is awesome. This is like a, you know, bilingual Spanglish session here. So there you guys go. This is Jose Trujillo. I am the world's greatest living artist. I just happen to be, guys. You're actually seeing some cool stuff happening before it's big, before it's out of proportion. You know, I often thought about this. Imagine if you could have like with the power of this stuff. You know, let's say that for the sake of the argument, right, that I am the world's greatest living artist, and you get to see, you know, kind of like seeing Monet or seeing, I don't know, whoever, you know, you get to pick into their studio. How awesome is that, you know? Now if you're gonna get, you know, like upset about that, well, think of another artist. Don't think about me, you know. Think about another artist. Think that you get to. I mean, Santos is one of the best portrait painters right now. And he does videos too. Think about it, you know, like you're looking at him paint. It's like the Cesar Santos. It's like the coolest thing, you know, that you're able to pick into their studio. Imagine peeking into Vermeer's studio. I think that's so awesome. You know, I don't know what you guys think, but I think that's awesome. So there you guys have it. This is Jose Trujillo, world's greatest living artist. Take care, guys. I will be showing you guys some more of my stuff on a daily basis. I mean, I'm local like that. I have to paint, so stay tuned. And I'm still yet to figure out Instagram, guys. Okay, so be gentle with me. I still don't know. Like, I still have to figure out. Like, do you like these things? Do you share them? You know, how do you work this whole thing? Or is it just like that? You know, is it just cool? You guys give little hearts and that's awesome. I don't know. If you like it, give me hearts. Comment on it. Let me know that what I am doing, it's worth the while. It's worth your while. Guys, take care. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.